Now, Jeff, all right, let's get at it. You're supposed to arrive in New York on Friday. You think you're going to make it on time?
Fingers crossed, Stuart. If I get to all the charging stations, you know, we rented this Tesla Model W, and we have outfitted it with cameras and all of the rest. Maybe.
Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my newest patron, Terry G. Thank you for choosing to support the channel. Just to touch on it, because I do find all of these articles and headlines about Elon's drug use to be a bit sleazy, diving into his personal life. What I do think is important and relevant to Tesla investors, just know these concerns have circulated now for years. This really is nothing new. To that, I would just say, let's just look at the results of Elon's companies over the past few years and let the results do the speaking for themselves. In fairness, of course, things like this could always get worse or become more regular, but ultimately none of us really know how often Elon is engaging in things like this. Elon did reply to Whole Mars talking about these articles, saying, after that one puff with Rogan, I agreed at NASA's request to do 3 years of random drug testing. Not even trace quantities were found of any drugs or alcohol. Wall Street Journal, not fit to line a parrot cage for bird poop. Trying to get away from the sensationalism, just focusing on the facts, there was a Tesla board member who served for 2 years. Her tenure ended in 2019, Linda Johnson Rice, who did at the time bring up worries related to Elon's substance use. So let's say those concerns were brought up by Linda in 2018. I would just say let's look at the results for all of Elon's companies for the past 5 years. I'm not sure those concerns are well founded. When it comes to the ketamine thing, just so you know, you can legally have a prescription for this, which Elon does, by the way, and this can oftentimes be used to treat symptoms for things like depression. To sum it up, I loved this reminder from Tesla Girl on X. While everyone is focused on Elon smoking weed, he's quietly smoking the whole automotive industry. Tesla shared a new video of the high fidelity 3D representation, saying it does so in a computationally efficient way. I'm wondering, those of you that have access to this feature, how has it treated you so far? Over the weekend, some Tesla customers with pending orders were emailed about reconfiguring their vehicles. This really just had to do with those EPA estimated range changes. I think it was just Tesla protecting itself from future liability, getting them to re-agree to the lower estimated range figures. Tesla has categorically rejected a demand for a collective labor agreement, this time in Berlin. The plant manager said, we're focusing on ourselves in order to find solutions for our employees quickly and without unnecessary escalation, and thus make changes happen significantly faster. That will be reviewed regularly, and he said a benefit structure has been implemented at the plant without collective labor agreements, and it offers the workforce a variety of benefits that are not found in the region or in the industry. These include things like free charging of EVs, free bus and train shuttles, a subsidized train ticket for use across Germany, and the leasing of bicycles. But the economics minister Jörg Steinbach said he would continue to campaign for Tesla in Grünheide to be bound by collective agreements. The head of Tesla's Works Council at Berlin, which is separate from the unions, also opposes collective bargaining involving the unions, saying we're close to the workforce. Our agility will be lost if we are influenced from outside. Some medics and emergency services teams in France have been testing the Model Y, and the results are very good. The head of emergency medicine at one of these organizations said plans are underway to start electrifying their fleet by late 2024. The medical teams were impressed by the Model Y when it comes to safety, handling, braking capabilities, and its superior loading capacity. The successful trial in Melun signifies a significant shift towards integrating electric vehicles in emergency medical services. Unusual Whales posted that the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car in the world for 2023, according to Business Insider, and I believe this may have been older data before the actual year concluded, so I think this is going to be the accurate conclusion, but I don't think we have the official data for this milestone just yet. Whenever we actually have all of the data through December for 2023, I really hope it's not Business Insider as the one breaking that news. It looks like Tesla has downgraded the audio system in the Model Y rear-wheel drive variant in Canada and the United States. As Drive Tesla is pointing out on the Tesla website, for that rear-wheel drive variant, it now comes with just 7 speakers, 1 amp, and no subwoofer. Tesla refers to this as custom audio. Then for the long range and performance variants of the Model Y, they have the premium audio system with 13 speakers, 1 subwoofer, and 2 amps. At least for now, the Model Y rear wheel drive in Europe that comes from Giga Shanghai is still listed as having the premium audio system. So in the United States and Canada going forward, both for the Model 3 and the Model Y, the rear wheel drive variants will have inferior sound systems. It has been like that for a while now on the Model 3. The long range and the performance variants have the premium sound system, then the rear wheel drive has what they call an upgraded system. And when looking at inventory Model 3 rear wheel drives, they'll refer to it as a partial premium interior. Why would Tesla downgrade now? It's really anybody's guess. It could be a margin move to push customers higher up the trim ladder. It could be something to do with parts availability. We just don't know for sure. Passing along a new wrap option for the Cybertruck from Test Bros. This one is a satin flip volcanic flare. I'm not sure this would be my first choice, but it is indeed different and somewhat cool. Here we have it, an interesting Reddit post from user Young Yeezus talking about the Tesla Model 3 Highland. All it says, next Sunday, hope I don't lose my job. The mods have verified my news. The question was asked, in North America, you mean? Is performance included in this announcement? Original poster said, I don't know as of right now. Whatever is classified as the base model for Model 3s now are going out first. They also said, the one thing I could probably tell about the car would probably narrow their investigation, but it's about audio. One user said, I'm counting on your verified news, to which OP said, hang up and wait. Asked if this vehicle would be available for order on Sunday, they said, I don't know, hope for a public announcement before Sunday. I have the same question. Why would this individual risk losing their job over something that is apparently supposed to happen in the next few days? To be clear, this is definitely still a rumor in my book, even though the mods of Tesla Motors somehow verified this news. I would also reconfirm this does not mean the Model 3 Highland is going to be available on Sunday. It could just be an announcement about when it will actually be ready for order. Over the past few days, the volume of pictures and videos shared of Model 3 Plus vehicles in and around California has been on the rise. Here we had a few driving from Fremont to Palo Alto, and this white one did not have that Chinese badging on the back like some others that we've seen. And they said the VIN sticker clarifies it was built in Fremont. The other pictures shared were just images of these vehicles on the road driving. Here's another shot showing the new front bumper and the new headlights. We also had a user on Reddit with some photos of a 2024 Fremont manufactured Highland. It's a standard Model 3. Translation, rear wheel drive. They said it looked pretty slick in person. I think a lot of you will think differently of this car's shape once you see it in person. It's a good refresh and looks very distinct versus the 2023 variant. Here are a few of those images. This is the updated headlight. Many folks were of course blasting the quality of this panel gap here and this overlay down here. But let's not get carried away. This is a test vehicle. They did share a picture of the full VIN here for anybody that was interested. Here's the updated taillight that's integrated into the trunk lid. This car did have some sort of film protection on the front fender. So potentially in the next 6 days, we get at the very least an announcement on when the Model 3 Plus will be available in North America. Some folks were saying that Tesla is now advertising their sexy lineup being the most American-made cars, which yes, of course, is great to see, but this was at a showroom in Indianapolis. So if this really counts as advertising, given it's already at a Tesla location, is certainly up for debate. But hopefully this messaging actually makes it into the real advertising Tesla has begun doing on platforms like YouTube. Ryan Torres also shared some cool images of the Cybertruck at night, this one with a dyno chrome matte black wrap. Here's a shot of the wrap. But I think the shot of the lights in the Cybertruck vault is even better. I have mixed feelings about this one. We have the Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm saying last year more than 1.4 million electric vehicles were sold in the US, up 50% year over year. That's great, you love to see it, but the purpose of this release was actually for the administration to take credit for those EV sales, when in reality we know the only reason the US is doing numbers anywhere near this range is because of one company alone, Tesla. Now yes, credit where it's due, there are some solid EV incentives and policies in place by this administration, but let's be honest, if it was not for Tesla, sales of electric vehicles in the United States would be an absolute joke, regardless of what the incentive structure is. And I say that not just because of the percentage of this number that were Tesla vehicles, but how many more would not exist had it not been for Tesla blazing the trail. I know some of you are currently in the market, so this is certainly relevant. We still have more and more dealers switching over to the point of sale rebate. Currently, the count stands at around 9,000 auto dealers that have finally registered. In the first week of January alone, an additional 1,000 auto dealers have now registered for the point of sale rebate. Here we have more proof the Chinese automakers are for real when it comes to EVs. Here we have the Galaxy E8, a newly launched EV from Geely. Last month, the word was this vehicle was going to debut around $27,000 US. Fast forward to now, and we learn it starts under $25,000 US, $24,700 to be precise. Everyone's first question is always about the range. This has 412 miles on the CLTC cycle, so the rough conversion to EPA is roughly 65%, so this could have in the neighborhood of 270 miles of EPA range. Plus, it comes equipped with this massive 45-inch touchscreen. The top tier trim of this vehicle, which will be in the neighborhood of $34,000 US, is actually on an 800 volt architecture. The point here, this new Galaxy brand from Geely, which is set to sell upwards of 5+ different EVs by 2025, is a new brand to watch. Geely's Zeekr brand is the more luxury variant competing with the likes of Tesla, but the Galaxy brand is set to be a more affordable lineup. The Galaxy E8 starts deliveries in February, and you have to ask the question, if a vehicle like this were ever to make it to the US market, how do you think it would fare? The car dealership guy on X shared this data from Cox Automotive and Kelley Blue Book showing us OEM sales in the United States. So for the full year 2023, Tesla's overall market share was 4.2%. I guess fate really does love irony. So Tesla grew its deliveries for the year 25.4% and thus grew its overall market share by 40 basis points or 0.4%. GM still leading the way overall by over 300,000 vehicles for the year. They increased their market share up to 16.5%. Things were not so great for Stellantis as they lost 1.3% market share, and not great for Toyota, losing 0.8% market share. This means Tesla is now the 8th biggest automaker in terms of overall auto sales in the United States. Also of note, Rivian more than doubled its US deliveries for the year, growing 146%. So overall, it's really cool to see Tesla now selling more cars in the United States than big name OEMs like VW, Subaru, BMW, Mazda, and others. Replying to this post, Elon said, "I was born 69 days after 420. Across both Toyota and Lexus brands for last year, they sold 14,700 full BEVs in the United States. Starting in the second quarter of this year in Europe, VW is going to roll out ChatGPT and integrate it with its in-car voice assistant. This will be in its EV lineup, cars like the ID.7, 4, 5, and 3, as well as the Tiguan, Passat, and Golf vehicles. For now, VW models in the United States will not have this feature, but said it's being considered. For VW, ChatGPT will be integrated into the back end of its IDA voice assistant, which drivers can use to control infotainment, navigation, and air conditioning, or to answer general knowledge questions. Examples shared were enriching conversations, clearing up questions, interacting in intuitive language, receiving vehicle-specific info, and much more purely hands-free. If the voice assistant can't handle the request, it'll be forwarded anonymously to ChatGPT. The response will come through the IDA voice assistant, so drivers may not even know when ChatGPT is in use. The CEO of VW's in-car voice assistant said they will explore collaboration to design a new LLM-based user experience as the basis of VW's next-gen in-car assistant. This whole project, however, is separate from what Cariad is working on. Honda is considering building an EV plant in Canada with a project possibly involving in-house battery production. This project may cost up to $14 billion, which is a massive number. They're expecting to decide by the end of 2024, with the new facility going on stream as early as 2028. With Honda already set to make EVs and batteries in Ohio by 2026, if this one goes through, it would be their second factory for such activities in North America. In the US, BMW currently offers 4 full battery electric models, the i4, 5, i7, and iX. For the full year last year, they sold 45.4 thousand full BEVs, or 12.5% of their total sales for the year. This data from Clean Technica was as of November, but it should not have changed that much for December. So globally speaking, the EV full BEV penetration rate for last year was around 13%. This video was shared on YouTube by Figure, a competing robotics company, and they showed their Figure 01 making coffee, although I'd push back on that a little bit. All the robot really did was put the K-cup for a Keurig machine into the machine, close the lid, press 2 buttons, and then that was all that the robot completed. As you're about to see, the robot never grabbed the full mug or anything else, but they did share this video clip of Figure 01 self-correcting some mistakes, actually getting the K-cup into the slot. However, what I think is most impressive is what they said at the beginning of the video. They used AI end-to-end neural networks, video training, and the training time was only 10 hours. Meaning Figure 01 learned how to do this task only by watching humans do the same thing. I'm speculating here, but I have a feeling that Optimus Gen 2 would be able to do this task and a bit more with a few hours of training itself. Again though, not to diminish what Figure is achieving here, and if you haven't heard of them, another robotics name on your radar. According to a new Ford patent, it looks like they're working on a similar technology to what GM is doing with the Ultium platform, where they have that modular system for using the same chassis for many different vehicle models. From the abstract, a vehicle chassis with interchangeable performance packages and related methods. Arash Malik on X shared a pretty cool video of some Cybertruck footage, and he brought in an F350 owner who had some interesting comments. I want to share just a few clips.
Andy, what do you currently drive?
I currently drive an F350 Power Stroke. It's a big diesel truck. It's crazy because we're hauling, 3,000 pounds of weight, and the regen still feels just as sensitive as without hauling anything. Like, there's no way I would be able to tell there's something back there because even the acceleration doesn't feel like it's lagging at all. Holy cow. That's nuts. My truck has a lot of horsepower, and there's no way I would accelerate like that. There's going to be a lot of guys out there that love their diesel trucks and ho-hum about electric and all that and how far they can actually haul, but man, if you had a small company where you were running around with a trailer to different job sites, this thing can perform pretty dang well. I mean, once you're getting over 12,000 pounds, that's where you're getting into commercial contractor use, where you're hauling small, mini X's or Bobcats. It'd be interesting to see how it would haul like a Bobcat on a small trailer. I don't think it would struggle too much, honestly. I think it'd be able to pull it pretty well. So people will struggle to find something big enough to really haul that you wouldn't then need like a diesel truck, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, my truck has a sub and premium sound and it doesn't sound this good.
So let the conversion of the F-Series owners begin and continue. According to Edmunds, in Q4, buyers put down an average of $7,074 on a new vehicle, and despite that figure continually trending up, in Q4 there was a new record for the average monthly payment for a new vehicle of $739 per month. This number will of course be impacted when more luxury buyers are in the market, but with interest rates where they are, car affordability is still going to be a hurdle for car makers to overcome as we head through 2024. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. You can find me on X, linked below. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.